You know, happy Monday. It's a glorious Monday. It's overcast, slightly moist outside in Austin, Texas. But I'm going to be talking about California because why not? I heard this on the radio. I didn't hear the ins and outs, so I'm going to do a blind read of this like I normally do. But this isn't good. This isn't a good bill. This isn't a bill that says that you're for law and order. And this is the Democrats pushing it. If this isn't a wake up call that the Democrats don't care about law and order, I don't know what is. Because if you think this stops at California, you're mistaken. A lot of things that we have today came from California. But of course, this is going towards News Week. A bill to stop employees confronting shoplifters passed by California Senate is now up to the California House, and it'll probably pass, which means that you could be a criminal in California and there's nobody there to stop you. This year, lawmakers in California are hoping to push through controversial legislation that would ban retail staff from stopping thieves stealing from their stores. So you pretty much, if you're a retailer, you're in California, that's not your, you don't get product, not product, but profit. You can't pay your employees because you don't make a profit. You're not going to be able to stay in business because you can't make a profit. Because every day your store is being vandalized or stolen. Products are being stolen. That's eating away at your not your product, but your profits. And now you can't even stop the thieves. You must let them come into your store, steal everything, and you might be able to get a cop to do a report. And guess what? They're going to do this every day. And pretty soon you're just going to be forced to close. And let's say you have 10 employees. Guess what? Those 10 employees are now jobless because California says you can't stop crime. Senate Bill 553, which was submitted by Senator Dave Cortez, has passed the Senate, or the state Senate, and prog- will now progress a policy committee in the state assembly. Cortez hopes that the proposed law will prevent workplace violence and protect staff from being forced by their employees to step in during robberies. But some store bosses are about the plans, with California Retailer Association mocking the move as an open invitation for thieves come in and steal. The political wrangling in California comes just weeks after a Home Depot security guard, Blake Moas, 26, was shot to death during an attempted robbery in Pleasanton, California. Other cities in the states are facing their own problems as they attempt to deal with the lawlessness. I mean, we kind of know how to solve the lawlessness. You just arrest everyone, throw everyone behind bars, you take away bail. And when it comes to time for the trial's over, they're found guilty, you send them to jail for a very long time. Now, that doesn't really solve the issue of why they're breaking the law. Doesn't really prevent more people to do that, but at least it gets people off the street. Um, San Francisco has been gripped by a crime wave that has seen Whole Foods close its downtown location just after a year of business, with bosses saying that we're unable to ensure the safety of their staff. And the city of Nordstrom followed suit by leaving the city this month. But many smaller businesses have no choice but to remain despite the attacks of their premises. I mean, I'm not one for vigilante justice, but sometimes vigilante justice is the only justice that criminals fear because they know they're not going to get really hurt when the cops come. They're not going to get a hefty sentence. And even so, they go to prison. Prison is like a criminal's university. They go in there, they brainstorm, they figure out how they got caught. They talk about stories and how the other people got caught, and they become better criminals. So I don't know what the solution is. The proposed new law comes as stores have blamed shoplifting for hitting their businesses, with Target issuing a statement in November blaming organized retail crime for an eye-watering $400 million in loss in profits in 2020. Well, they're also losing money due to the boycott. Let's see here. Protester in Santa Maria, California on May 31st, 2020, aiming at Black Lives Matter demonstration. Yeah, I thought this was peaceful, bro. California Senator hoping to bring a new law preventing retailers from requiring rank and file staff to intervene if they spot someone stealing. Let's see here. Cortez, a Democrat representing Santa Clara, told Fox 2 KTVU, more recently we have seen another spike in retail violence at Safeway. Home Depot is just happening every other day. What we're saying in the bill is not okay for employers to take rank and file workers, somebody whose job is really something else, and say, hey, if there's an intruder, we're going to deputize you to intervene. People get hurt and often killed that way. Well, maybe if you could address the crime in your city, maybe if the DA was serious about ending the crime in your city, you wouldn't be seeing this. And maybe if the governor was serious about ending the crime and actually become more Second Amendment friendly, that might put some fear into these criminals. Just saying that. Statement issued by Cortez office noted that the assaults in stores rose during the pandemic, citing the 2022 analyst by the New York Times, which found assaults in grocery stores increased by 63% from 2018 to 2020, and the assaults from the convenience stores grew by 75%. The statement added that workplace violence is the second leading cause of fatal occupational injury. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, estimates that the workplace violence affects nearly 2 million workers each year, with female staff suffering from higher rates of non-fatal injuries than their male counterparts. Retail Security Survey published in 2022 by the National Retail Federation also suggests that the issues may be getting worse. Annual survey of retail industry loss prevention professionals found that retail shrink is almost a $100 billion problem. Not many stores can weather that loss, that shrinkage. According to the survey, retailers blamed external theft for the greatest portion of the shrink at 37%, while 28.5% was deemed by the results of employee internal theft. The difference was made up by various factors, including processing and control failures. The survey found that 37.9% of the respondents replied that no associates were allowed to apprehend shopliftings in their organizations. In California, California bill, if enacted in law, would require employees to provide active shooter training to workers, keep a log of any violent incidents, and allow companies to apply for workplace violence restraining orders. Not sure what that means. But Rachel Mitchin, the president of California Retailer Association, told Fox 2 KTVU this bill goes way too far. Number one, where I think it will open the doors even wider for people that come in and steal from our stores. She added that most states already prevent ordinary workers from confronting shoplifters, saying that most hired employees significantly train in theft preventions for that person if the bill says no employees can approach someone who's shoplifting. So even if someone is trained how to deter someone from doing that, they're not allowed to approach someone. So what does that mean? We're going to open up the doors and allow people to just walk into the stores, steal, and walk out? Newsweek's attempted to seek clarification on how the law applies to the staff such as trained security guards. Newsweek also reached out to Senator Cortez and the California Retailer Association for further information and comment. Several large retailers, including Target and Walmart, also been approached for comment about the proposed law. The current bill is subject to adjustment as it progresses through the State Assembly Process Committee. So I guess the question, if you're part of the loss prevention crew, are you still allowed to approach shoplifters? Or does this law say you can't? I mean, because it says, per Rachel Michelin, the president of California Retailer Association, pretty much states, can we actually approach them if they're part of that training? Let's see here. Saying most hired employees specifically trained for their theft prevention for their purpose says no employee can approach someone who's shoplifting. I mean, that's plenty of restrictions on the free market. Let's see here. Let's read the comments since Newsweek has comments. Since taking office in 2019, Gavin Newsom has signed off more than $22.3 billion in new spending on housing and homeless programs. The CA, or California, is the homeless capital of the United States. He wants to spend more tax dollars on drug addicts. Since Gavin Newsom's reign began, 700,000 Californians have moved out of California. This is the future of nation under Democrat tax and spend pro-crime policies. Orwell cannot write this stuff. Who voted for these clowns? Democrats. I'll be happy when the San Francisco streets are covered with tumbleweeds. Let's see here. I wonder if I could find this. Nope. I want... Let's see if I can find this. California is known as California Work Opportunity, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Normally I do this stuff ahead of time. Senate passed establishing new workplace violence prevention standards in California. The bill authorized labor unions to seek temporary restraining orders based on workplace violence or credible threat of violence. The bill now moves to the California State Assembly for committee hearings, and Labor and Judiciary Committee's hearings begin mid-June. Meanwhile, SB 553, Local Government Assistance and Election Procedure Bill that will provide reimbursement of costs mandate by the state requiring the county. Let's see here. Is there a bill lookup? Government assistance. Let's see here. Let's see here. Is this it? No, I'm not really seeing this. Let's see here. California. Bill lookup. Let's see here. To look up bill, one can visit the... Although it doesn't really say that. The official site, the official system. Let's see here. They're not really making it easy. There we go. Bill number, was it S553? House. Huh. See here, search. Introduced by Senator Cortez. Excellent. How long? Holy crap. This is really long. I normally would read it, but this is a really long bill. I'll put this bill down below. Anyways, it seems like Democrats are for more crime. Instead of addressing the crime, they just want to make it easier for criminals to rob and steal retailers in California because you don't want to stop the criminals because that might cause a workplace violence. However, people are being fed up with the crime and they're either being vigilantes or they're moving out of California if they can afford to do so. And this isn't a good solution either way because we really do need our governments to take this seriously and actually be hard on crime approaches. I know that people say the broken window theory has failed because it imprisoned a whole lot of people. But the thing is, if you get criminals off the street, they're off the street. If they're off the street, they're not committing crimes. Now, I don't know what the solution is long term because we can't be arresting everybody that commits low level offenses, but we got to be able to show that we're serious about the low level offenses so they don't go and do something more serious. I don't really know how to fix it. All I do know is probably starts at home. I mean, parents have to be parents and actually teach their kids from right or wrong. But if the parents don't know what's right and wrong, they're going to be not teaching them right and wrong. With that being said, that is my video for today. I'll probably leave a link to this bill in case you want to read it. But at the same time, I'm not going to read it because it's really long and this video is already long enough. That being said, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.